For more on the latest numbers, we're joined by Nik Nanos, Chief Data Scientist and founder of Nanos Research, continuing to see a very healthy lead from Doug Ford. What else do the numbers say?
You know, Jamie, I guess the big question is Doug Ford and the PCs, are they going to continue to be a political freight train, or will something happen at the provincial leaders debate tonight to change the current trajectory? Because let's face it, Jamie, 46-27, 19-point advantage. That's an even bigger win, hypothetically, if the election were held today than the mandate that Doug Ford won back in 2022. So if you're either Crombie or Stiles, you have to be thinking of what's the strategy and what are they going to do in order to kind of shake loose some of those people that are currently parking with the Progressive Conservatives to consider one of the two other opposition parties.
You have to assume that the NDP and Liberal leaders are going to throw pretty much everything at Doug Ford, including the kitchen sink, if they want to narrow the gap. I'm curious, what do you think their strategy it could be, and what do the numbers tell you about who could potentially come in second? Obviously, this could be a big moment for the Liberals to make a comeback and regain party status.
You know, Jamie, in one of the earlier surveys that we did with CTV and CP24, we asked Ontarians what were the most important issue that would shape their vote. At the very top of the list was healthcare and jobs, and then Donald Trump. So, you know, the thing is obviously Doug Ford is going to want to talk about Donald Trump and Canada's and Ontarians' response to the Trump administration and the threat of tariffs. I think for the two opposition parties, they're going to probably want to zoom in on healthcare and jobs because Ontarians do want to hear about those two particular issues. They're probably going to want to attack Doug Ford in terms of his record on healthcare over the last number of years to see whether there's any potential weakness on that front. Because, you know, let's face it, Jamie, if the election continues to be focused on Donald Trump and tariffs, it's just very difficult for both Crombie and Stiles to kind of crowd in on that space, because Doug Ford has the advantage of being the premier, engaging with the federal government and other premiers, and also engaging Donald Trump and the U.S. media, working to protect Ontarians' interests. So it's like a no-win. Talking about Trump is a no-win scenario for Crombie and Stiles. They've got to focus on some of those other issues. The good news for them is Ontarians are ready to hear from all of the provincial party leaders on issues like healthcare and jobs in the economy.
You know, if we were to rewind about a year ago, the main issues right now that, you know, when it came to attacking the Conservative leader, it was essentially the Greenbelt scandal and what's the other one I'm missing there? Oh, my goodness, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Also healthcare as well.
Well, healthcare and, you know,
and Science Center. There we go.
Science Center, and also what I'll say the transfer of the sale of liquor and beer and stuff like that to convenience stores, and that particular initiative and the cost to accelerate that program that Ford was really hot on. So, you know, the thing is there's a lot for the opposition parties to poke at. You know, is Doug Ford kind of like the Teflon leader or not? He's going to need answers on the Greenbelt. He's still going to need answers on the transition for convenience stores and the costs related to that. Because, you know, let's face it, Ontarians want to see work on healthcare, and we're spending money to, you know, have the availability of, you know, alcoholic beverages in convenience stores. So, you know, there are opportunities there. It's going to be interesting to see how Doug Ford handles that. But I think one of the two things that we can expect tonight, first of all, Doug Ford to pivot everything back to the issue of the United States and Donald Trump, to say, yeah, maybe you're not happy with all these other things, but we've got an existential threat. It's the United States. We need to make sure that we fix that relationship and that he's working hard on that. And then expect for both Crombie, Stiles, and Schreiner, the three of them, to go after the premier on his record over the last number of years, spending, also things like healthcare, in order to shake loose the lead. But, you know, let's face it, Jamie, you're looking at a 19-point lead. So say the 19-point lead goes to what, 15 points, 10 points? Still a win for Doug Ford. So, you know, he has to try to get through the debates. Debates are always tough for incumbents. He's got to try to get through without being roughed up too much by the three opposition leaders.
10 days to go until the provincial election. I'm curious to see what your numbers and data will show in the days ahead. Nik Nanos, always great to chat. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.